gotta go.
My friend, how can I help you?
We're online.
All systems go!
And in your face.
Yes, sir. We are back.
You're
It
listening
is
to the golden
2017.
microphones
It
of
is
the
Lake
IMC
Lincoln
Radio.
Airport, and it
News,
is
opinions,
Sun
and your
Fun
calls.
2017. Well, welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Max Gross, a.k.a. Howie Marlin. And I'm here today with, beginning the show with a couple of really fascinating guests. First of all, it's a young man who happened to wander onto campus earlier today, took a look around, said, "Oh, these are airplanes?" And, John Lights, Mr. Lighthouse, good afternoon, sir.
Well, it is a gorgeous afternoon. It's a beautiful day. And as we say here on the campus, we're having an awesome sun and fun day. Why is that? It's because throngs of people are coming in to share the camaraderie of aviation.
Roger that. Why? Because we're here. I'll tell you, I have never had not a good time. How many double negatives can I throw in? Neither have I. Never had. No such. Never good. Anyway, it's always been wonderful, even when the weather gets weird. We won't talk about that.
Like Sarah Lee.
Thank you. Padoom boom. Thank you, John. And that was John Roberts, ladies and gentlemen, the hoster with the moster. Welcome back. This is the mysterious voice to the IMC Club Plain Talk co-host number duo.
Yes, I am. Nice to be here. It is beautiful here today. The sun is fun.
But you are a solo artist, are you not?
I am a solo. I'm a piano musician.
Piano man.
I love it. I love airplanes and music.
Well, it's a wonderful thing, and we have two of the originators of the IMC Club. Do me a favor, let's throw that down. Who the hell are you? Hola! How you doing?
Kenny does number 2.
No, that's IMC Club member
Zero.
Some people call me that, some people just call me number 2. Some people call me other words. I hear we're not allowed to say anything.
Yeah, well, this is the internet. You can say whatever the hell you want. I mean, let's just put all spin. Hey, welcome back, Ken. Thank you very much. How's that service coming along?
Very nice, very nice. Flew it on down here. Flew it to Polka with the most wicked ugly crosswinds in Florida.
Oh yeah, did you do the wild flying wild Alaska crosswind?
Yeah, they just got the wrong.
Mila, you know what I'm talking about?
The wrong way.
Okay, we'll get to you in a second. But okay, hey, listen, you're too ugly. Over here we have Mila Cuervo. I was over at the press meeting this morning, watching the briefing, getting the briefing. And John, you were eloquent as always. And I got to tell you, you have a career in broadcasting. You have a face for radio, boom. But you have a career.
I think my position on the radio is going to be that's all, folks, as we close out the day.
Well, no, knowing you and knowing this place, come around Sunday, you're ready for, I hear you, bro.
A cold libation.
I hear you, bro.
And a nice warm bed.
I'll bet feet start tingling. But Mila, getting back to you, and John, we might even not get back to you, seeing that we have Mila here. In the brief introduction this morning, I learned that you're rather enthusiastic about aviation engineering. You aspire to fly some interesting aircraft, get involved in some interesting shoulder of our defense, world of defense. And why don't you just tell me, who are you and what are you doing here? And what is your interest in aviation?
Well, my interest in aviation, I guess I've been going to Sun Fun my whole life. My parents moved here for Sun Fun.
What? Your parents moved here for Sun and Fun?
Pretty much.
Oh my God! Jenny, my wife, Jenny. Hello, Jenny. Hello. They moved here for Sun. She was here once, and she had been there, done that. Anyway, so that's wonderful. And tell me more about your aspirations.
So I've been going to Sun Fun forever. I went to CFA. I'm a senior this year.
CFA, which is for the uninitiated.
High school at Sun Fun campus.
And didn't it just get renamed or something?
Well, yes, the ACE, Aerospace Serve for Excellence.
Very good. She's reading my lips. Well, that's awesome. And what year did you graduate?
I'm a senior this year. I'll be graduating in a couple months, more or less.
You're going? Don't go. Don't. I'm sure there are people that are telling you they don't want you to go. And, okay, so let's see. Your parents moved here from Sun and Fun. You've been around aviation all your life. You're a senior in high school, the aviation high school here. and you want to run a restaurant? Is that what you want?
No.
What do you want to do?
I want to join the military, and for me, it just so happened to be the Army. So I'm going to be doing Army ROTC at Forest Southern College, majoring in nursing, and hopefully flying helicopters in Army Reserves.
All right, I want you to do this. I'm patting my stomach and rubbing my head. Can you do that?
While I hold the mic.
You can't do that either? Honey love, I'm going to tell you now. You got to be able to do things with different hands and not know what the other one's doing. You got to get that going. Are you a drummer?
Definitely not.
No, well, listen, as funny as that sounds, and yes, those assets do help. It is not a hindrance, and it's not going to stop you. Where are you at in your aviation education? What do you checked out for, huh? You checked out the YAC, are you? What, T-52?
I just got awarded the James C. Ray Flying Scholarship.
Mumble that again.
The James C. Ray Flying Scholarship.
What the heck?
Basically, I'm going to be able to solo for free and get my...
Oh! Solo for free?
And my flight license for little none.
You guys know my story. 70 hours, 6 flight instructors, 5 years. My story, I would backstroke, upwind and the downwind current. I mean, it took me forever and a day. And I'm still paying the mortgage off on my second house, and my third wife, and my fourth kid. Oh, no, I got him. That's wonderful. Congratulations. That's really awesome. So what are your grades like?
I have a 100 in almost all of my classes. Including math.
Oh, no, we can't be friends. I'm sorry. Seriously, that's awesome. I mean, really, honey, that's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. And it will take you far. Your personality will lead the way. I'm going to tell you right now, your ability to just, we just met, and I've insulted you over and over again, and you're here with this ugly, smelly old man, and you got another one, me, on the other side. I mean, you seem to be okay with that. Well, that's wonderful. That's really incredible. So tell me, what experience have you gotten today?
With light? Or in general?
No, flying.
Oh, okay.
Leave him out of it.
Well, almost all of my friends are pilots. I've flown with them. My boyfriend's a pilot.
Okay, now this is the real question. Which aircraft have you been in? Have you flown right-seated? Up front.
I flew right-seated in the Ford Tri-Motor last year, so...
And you're 17?
I'm 18 now, but
First of all, give me a little love. Fist bump. I flew right-seat about 15 years ago. I went off-season. I went up to Oshkosh on business. Nobody was there.
Yep.
I happened to be there in the fall, and it was only me and a couple of people. And I walked up and I said, go ahead. So I did. That was awesome. Good for you. That's insanely cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah. Did you have to get on somebody's shoulders? The hands start to pump? No,
Yeah,
you don't.
definitely.
And what else?
Just Cessnas.
Excuse me. Wait, whoa. The people who are listening here, a lot of
Little
them
planes.
haven't been in one or have maybe been in one. So little Cessnas, such as?
Like Cessna 150, Cessna 172. That's probably it. And then Mooney.
Yeah.
And commercial planes, such 727.
You flew right seat in the 727?
No.
Oh, no, that's why I was asking.
What airplane do you fly on Sunday afternoon?
Oh, P-51.
Oh, my molars
Just to
vibrated.
top it off.
No. That's a World War II fighter.
Yeah, it's great.
No, you're not flying in the.
Why not?
There's no reason why not. I'm just
But
not going to let you because I'm
you're
mad.
just jealous.
I am. Can you see the blood coming out of I can make my gums bleed. Ready?
I'll have to call my dad.
What is he, a dentist?
No, he's a doctor.
Oh, well, funny. I
Flight
work in
surgeon in the Air Force.
Oh, wow. So he only operates on people when they're in the air?
No.
That's a pain in the butt. Oh, I should know. I work in the ER. For real, yeah, I do. But as you can tell, I'm in mental health. It's true. It's true. I'm a crisis clinician. Yeah, homicide, suicide, pathology,
Okay.
and substance abuse.
Okay.
We teach how people how to abuse substances. Good. Obviously, by the look of you, you're
Oh my god.
look at the pass the jug. Pass the jug. Well, that's insanely cool. Well, enough about you. Getting back to you, Jen, that's great that you brought her along. You know, a little.
Well, she
beauty.
what the
Age
neat
and
part
beauty.
is she represents the whole student body. She's just one of hundreds that look, act, and present themselves in the same fashion and have a focus on the future. They're not just dilly-dallying around like you and I did in our wasted youth. All right? I mean,
Speaking of waste,
quite candidly, I'd still be in jail for one for aviation.
oh, wait, that's how I knew I recognized you. And that sound in the background, that's Radek Viskowski.
Hello, everybody.
Here's our fireless leader. Where the heck were you when it started?
He's number one. Oh, apparently I walked in late. I thought you said 2 o'clock.
Right, the show's from 2 to 3. That's for an hour. You've never done this before, have you? We do the show every couple of weeks. Anyway, so Radek, I'd like to, John Lighthouse.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
And Mila Cuervo.
And yeah, nice name. My sister's name is.
Oh, so you don't care about the Cuervo part.
It's a Polish name. It's a Polish Russian.
Well, mine's just short for my
Okay. Mila sounds.
Milagros.
Milagros.
Okay.
Milagros. Oh,
It's not Maligro.
It's Milagros.
Milagros.
It
That's
means
great,
miracles. It's Cuban.
and it's
It means
awesome.
miracles in Spanish.
And you, my dear, are a
That
miracle.
sounds great.
That's fantastic. Miracles happen there all the time. You're looking at one over here, and I'm sure that you guys can appreciate the fact that for whatever reasons the universe lined up, the stars lined up, that you are involved in what you're doing. You're very articulate. You're very good at expressing yourself. You will make a phenomenal spokesperson. Good for you. You're born with that. You should go up to your parents and slap them.
I'd rather not.
Thank you. Right in the back of it. No, I'm joking. Of course I'm joking. But the nice thing is, obviously, they are wonderful people. I'm going to tell you this. You don't judge people by their children, but a lot of times the effect that children have gives you a flavor for their upbringing. So hats off to them. Big salutes to them. Any more at home like you? Any brothers or sisters?
Yep, I have brother and sister and 2 half sisters, 1 half brother.
Are they all
One
flight
of the half
surgeons?
brother's name is Jose Cuervo.
No.
Fact.
Oh my God! Oh, that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. Well, that's cool.
That's because her dad's got a great sense of humor.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding. Well, good for him. I'm telling you, we'd be good friends. We would be good friends. That's really incredibly cool. And what about your siblings? Are any of them interested in anything?
They're interesting things. As far as aviation goes, my fully believe brother and sister, they did Sun and Fun camps when they were little, but neither of them really followed through with it or anything, or got their license like I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, no, it's not a necessity. It was a curiosity for me to ask, and it's just wonderful. No, it's really odd if you have one child that really finds their passion, and it's normal that we go through life for quite a while searching for and trying out. It's like clothes. We try different things to see what fits our makeup. And for me personally, I reinvented myself. I went from auto racing and software and television production. I just kept reinventing myself. I started 30 years ago in mental health. I ended up back in it. My son, on the other hand, he went to the University of New Hampshire. Hey, Sam. And he got an engineering degree, computer engineering, and it's working for BAE Systems, British Aerospace, on systems. He found his passion, and this is why I'm sharing with you the fact that your vision is very comfortable with it. And what's happening? So that's did you know? Well, you said you grew up here. I'm thinking, asking you, did you know what you were doing when you won that award that you would be a spokesperson? Did you aspire to do it? Was that a target? Or were you just studying and it was like, here you go? And you're like, oh, well, that's cool.
I always knew. I always knew that I wanted to do nursing. I always knew I wanted to do something in aviation. So, and then an opportunity presented itself to do what exactly I wanted to do, and it was a miracle.
Well, that's wonderful. No, and like that's it.
You were saying something about helicopters. So you are flying helicopters, so you wanted to fly helicopters. So.
Well, I always knew I wanted to do something in aviation, but last year I was in the Stratos program, something offered by ACE, Aerospace Center for Excellence thing, and I actually got an opportunity to fly in a helium twice, and that was when I knew absolutely I fell in love with helicopters, and I knew I had to fly them, so that's what I did.
Because I took 2 lessons in helicopters, and that is exactly when I knew that I'm not going to do it.
Well, do you remember which helicopter it was?
I don't, to be honest with you, but I remember there were so many handles there, and it was too much. An airplane, I trimmed, I set up power, and I enjoyed it. And helicopter, I had to be on the top of it all the time.
Well, you can set the cycling, pull it up, and you give it a twist and blocks. You can do that.
I don't.
Dance with the pedals.
The one thing that I remember, my instructor was showing me hovering.
Oh,
and
geez.
every time he was doing it, he wasn't touching anything, and it was there. And he said just do the same thing. So first I tried without touching anything, and the helicopter was all over the place. Then I tried with touching controls, and same thing. It's even worse. So I said, no, that's not fun.
Well, I think it's appropriate that this Credible is interested in helicopters because I've always been asked, how do you practice to be a helicopter pilot? And I tell them it's very simple. 3 shots of tequila and stand on a beach ball. You can do that, you can be a helo pilot.
Well, here comes Miss Maribel. Kind of give you a leg up on that. Well, I'm going to tell you this. If you would like to get scared out of your wits, get your butt into a Redbird simulator. And at Oshkosh, a couple of years ago, I got the luxury of sitting in a Redbird and flying in, it was just a simulator Robinson, and I crashed it every time. This is the drummer who thinks he can fly anything.
Well, just so you know, all of our students will have a chance to do that now because Redbird has donated a brand spanking new Redbird simulator to the Lakeland Aero Club, the largest aviation youth club in the world.
This is not fair.
It's right here on the campus. It's one more component of our Aerospace Center for Excellence. It's a way to keep young men and women focused and motivated after school, on weekends, and on their way to college and into their careers.
John, unbelievably cool. This is a visceral reaction machine. You sit in this, the screens kind of surround you, and when you tilt forward, you get the sensation. And so you really do. Have you flown a Redbird, a flight simulator?
No.
Well, you will find it that since you have time, especially those who have time in an aircraft, especially left seat. I'm going to tell you, when you get in the Redbird and you fly your own approaches in your aircraft and you go and he does something like, throws, the power off or you break a trim tab or something and your heart rate goes up and you kind of really do freak out. And as the plane gets in an unusual attitude, you can't correct it. There have been people who have had to shut it down instead of seeing it all the way down.
Yeah, there are two types of flight simulators. There are those with moving platform, full motion, and those that are not moving.
Oh.
But let me tell you, the one without motion can even give you more sensation because your brain is trying to figure out the situation, and it's incredible.
We had those. We had both of those in the service, and we had one that was full motion. It was called the Night Carrier Landing Trainer, and that would make you sweat.
Oh my God!
Literally sweat because it was so real. But that was full motion. But the one that was non-motion was how to do air combat dogfighting in a Hornet, and in that particular platform, it didn't move, but it was in a giant dome. You sat in the dome, and it was a twilight-looking environment, and we could not stop the motion. Couldn't freeze frame because you'd bang your head on the canopy because your gyros were all caged to the movement. So you'd have to light the scene so if the pilot perceived that he was straight and level again, then you could freeze the machine. Otherwise, you'd actually hit your head on the canopy.
I think Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I have about almost 500 hours dual given in full motion already. And some of the tricks that I was using, I would put somebody on the left back and work on it. And then I would reach outside and freeze the platform, left back, and then ask them to turn to the right. And that is when we're talking about spatial discrete.
Oh my God!
That was, I know it was cruel and...
Wait, you have to understand, I'm sure you know the seat of the pants feeling in a coordinated turn, right? So you know where your center of gravity and your butt squarely, but you're then locking that.
Yes.
And having them make another...
Yeah, with the feeling to the left. The first time I experienced...
That's like punching the rudder all the way.
I experienced things like this. I was on actual conditions with one of my students, and I reached down to grab plates or whatever it was, and I brought my hand up, and suddenly I'm feeling that we are making a sharp turn. I think it was to the right. I very quickly look at instruments, and I see we're turning to the left, and it's incredible. I mean, the confusion that your body is telling you it's a right turn, your instruments are telling you that you're in a left turn, and you have to adjust both and put them back in front. So
it was always fun when we would do training on disorientation. The blindfold, put earmuffs and earplugs on, set an individual in a stool that spun around, and then you start moving them and have them have a stick in between their legs, and they were supposed to push the stick. Now they're blindfolded, and they couldn't hear anything. Push the stick in the direction they thought they were going, and you would slowly stop it and reverse it a couple times, and they would literally think that they were going the opposite direction they were really going in, and you would pull the blindfold off, and they would fall off the chair. That's great fun. It was great fun. It's always a party thing. Hey, I hate to tell you this, but we got to run now.
That's fine.
So I want to thank you both for letting us squeeze into your schedule.
Thank you.
Say a little bit to the fans out here. Get to meet Milagros. Did I get that right?
Milagros.
Milagros.
Yeah, let me shake the hand of Milagros. Thank you very much, honey.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure, John. Again, thank you
very
much.
A pleasure to meet you. All righty.
Nice meeting you.
All right, we'll take a commercial break.
Thank you much, guys. Ciao, man.
Bye.
There you go.
Welcome to Play Time.
Okay, and we are back. Well, that was exciting. Brad, thank you very much for being our fearless leader with that.
what an impressive young lady.
I'll say. And, it's unfortunate that I didn't get to ask John more about Glenn's idea at campus. But it was really quite an interesting presentation with the press people. Talking about the French fighter group, the performance group, and talking about how, whereas the Blue Angels are youngsters that are in it for 1 year or so, that the French guys are in it for 5 years, and they'll be performing here this week. Actually, it is today. Got some interesting weather moving in, so we may have a little bit of get rid of the dust.
Oh well, there's always, interesting.
It's an outdoor activity.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, here in Florida. So, tell me about your booth here this year.
Okay, so we are, and IMC Club and now the IMC Club are located at EA Mobile Market Unit. I would just invite everybody to stop by. It's across from EAA Blue House, and we do have their flight simulator. You can experience what Howie was just talking about, flight simulation. We have some virtual reality tours. If you want to submerge yourself in that.
What's a virtual reality?
It's we have those 3D, those 3D glasses that you put on.
Yeah.
They show you different aviation things there.
That's exciting.
And of course, IMC, BMC clubs. we are there.
This is actually a great time to talk about that. Tell me about the IMC and VMC clubs.
Okay, I'm sure IMC, most people already know who we are, so we are about.
It's a whole new market, Brad.
I know.
A bunch of people never heard of it.
I always say, you read your books, you get your certificate, but are you really prepared for the real life? And it doesn't matter whether you just got your license, you just got your instrument training yesterday, or you got your instrument training 10 years ago. Still, you can learn from practical knowledge of other instrument players out there.
How did this concept come to be?
So,
you were a flight instructor, or you were just another Joe running time?
You could be anybody.
No, you up in Norwood. I just want you to tell us again the story. Tell me again, Daddy.
If I tell
the story again, Daddy.
I think realistically, it has to be at least 200 times I had that presentation. So it all started long time. IMC Club was born in last century. And it was. I'm not kidding.
What?
It was born
What?
the day after I got my instrument training.
Oh, 50 years
And
ago.
dinosaurs were still roaming the earth.
Were they really plaid colored? Were they back then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Had feathers?
So, but all kidding aside, it was last century, and it was the day after I got my instrument training, and I tried to figure out whether I can do it. Low IMC, whether I needed to go back to my home base from another airport. I was on a cross-country flight. I got weighted out. I landed, and 300 feet lubricants. Love this.
Yeah, awesome.
Have you run it? And you're an instrument rated pilot. You are an instrument rated pilot.
Maybe a poorly rated instrument pilot.
But instrument rated pilot.
You are flying on your instruments.
To make a long story short, because otherwise we'll need 2 hours of showing you. I had this dilemma, and I finally decided to go. And it was pure luck that I was sitting here. And I actually ended up shooting NPV Alpha approach to my home base down to Naples. With final approach fix on the top of the mountain, descending down to airport.
There's a mountain in
circling approach Alpha.
You circle Alpha.
And with, most pilots, most listeners probably don't even remember what NDVA is, but you have this weird instrument that is simply pointing to the transmitter, and you have to correct for wind. So you fly heading in a different direction, and your needle, unlike VOR when you have to have it centered, has to be pointing in the same angle in the other direction. So angle of correction equals angle of deflection, and that's how you slide down. And I did it. I found the airport. I landed. I got out of the airplane. I kissed the ground. And as I like to say, I went home. I changed my underwear, and the IMC Club was born. So I realized on the flight that the ticket itself, it's absolutely meaningless. It has nothing to do with your ability to go in those commercial. So that's how it started. And 5 years later, not 5 years, but what I'm saying, now it's 5 years later. 5 years after we started, we merged with PA, but now I'm jumping all over the timeline. So many years later, when I got my commercial, I got my CFI, CFWI, MEI, and other things along the way, degree in aviation. Now there's 2010, I started my IMC Club. And we started growing.
Now, you say you started the club, so this is up in Norwood, in Massachusetts. OWORD.
We call it OD.
And you were sitting around with a bunch of guys.
Yes.
Was it an EAA meeting, or was it over a beer? Or was it?
It was a Greek restaurant, Era.
Oh yeah, right there next to the, right off base. Off
Yes.
The FBI.
So
Great restaurant.
we're eating Eros, probably the best Greek food on the East Coast.
Gyros, they call them.
Gyros.
They call them gyros.
Let's be proper here.
Gyros.
Gyros, yes.
Give me a gyro, please.
And then, we're talking about this instrument flying business. And I already love going to that time. Instruments to take them on competitions as much as we could.
That's awesome.
As much as available.
Yeah.
And we said, hey, how about we form this IMC club? We'll call it IMC club. This was like an almost little, joke. It's supposed to be a little humor there. And we're supposed to be just, meeting and talking about this and encourage other people to go on competitions. And that's how it started. 6 people our first meeting, and then it just exploded. Literally exploded. We grew in 5 years to almost 3,000 members, registered members, and over 100 locations globally, including Santiago, Chile, Australia, South Africa.
Well, I'm going to tell you that the experience I had, our IMC club, running a scenario over the Great Lakes, either coming to or from Oshkosh, I forget. And the scenario, the weather changed, the aircraft got kludgy, and then the video stopped. So the fascinating discussion was a result of the fact that of the 9 people in that room, 8 had different aircraft. There were 2 Piper Archer guys. Nobody had the same avionics, different capabilities. And the conversation went on for days. We not only stayed for 2 hours that night talking about this, with the different instruments that we had, but as people were talking around campus over the next few days, we were still talking about that scenario.
Because it's, I strongly believe that, unfortunately, the aviation is, when was scenario-based training born? It was somewhere, I think, in around 2008 or so, or maybe earlier. But we have this obsession with standardization. And yes, there are things that have to be standardized, but there are things that simply cannot, because they have such a variety of potentials, different outcomes. So, for example, personal moves. There are all kinds of formulas, tables, people try to quantify this and come up with something.
Yep.
But it's going to be different for everybody. And for example, for me, I'm thinking it would be different if I had my family on board, or a thing. But also
Absolutely,
it would be
yeah.
different if I do have a family. It would be different. It's different now because I have a grandson. It's already different. And then it's going to be different on a different day of the week. It's going to be different whether I slept 5 hours, 7 hours, or 10 hours. It's going to be different if, type of airplane you're flying.
Absolutely.
It's going to be...
Now wait, let's talk about this.
Possibilities. So there's really no way to say that is the formula, and I simply don't go above 10 knots crosswind. It could be 10 knots crosswind one day. It's going to be 12 another day.
Thank you. Yeah. Well,
it's going to be 15 another day. I was in winds, gusting. I think it was like 20 gusting 30. Something of that sort. It was straight to the mountain. And we had a lot of fun. But on the other hand, there were some days that I was forced into a situation like this.
Well, okay, now this is interesting because you're right. Your personal minimums will change because of many different data points. Your skill set. I've been flying a lot. I've been up once or twice a week, running 3, 4, or 5 hours a week. I got like 50-something hours in the last few months. I'm very lucky. Now it's also been interesting. We've had the most really bad winds. So I've been going out in real choppy winds, blowing in the high 20s, gusts in the low 30s, and pushing the envelope of the crosswind. But with the ability to make sure I can make it never outside the envelope, but always with lots of options, including alternative runways to put down.
And exactly, and see, those minimums also are and should be defined based on your airport, based on where you're landing.
Hallelujah!
You know the airport, because winds are not always going to be steady from one location. Some airports, they have hangars. I know they do. I've seen them there.
And dunes and trees.
Yes, and those are going to disturb wind patterns, and you have to know them. So if you're going to your home base and you know those winds, and you know what gusting 10, gusting 20 is going to do, then you're fine. But if you're going to unknown, and I had those situations. I was flying Cirrus at some point. I was flying somebody else. So basically, I was kind of like a corporate flying for one individual.
Okay.
And one day we were coming back from one location. I'm not going to disclose locations because in case people are saying they are also.
LaGuardia.
So I was coming back from one location to another, and on the way there, there were some strong crosswinds at the airport that we're supposed to land. And I said, I'm not going there. And he says, yeah, but my right is there, they are waiting for me. I said, okay, we're going to land at another airport that's only 20 miles away. They are going to reposition because I know that they're there. I know with those winds exactly what is happening. And I simply refused to land there. And it was within my minimums. I mean, both airports had the same winds. I mean, they were so close that it was set.
Same runway headings? Same runway headings?
Almost the same.
But one had a mountain or hills, the other didn't have trees, and it was
correct,
open.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I hear you, brother.
One I knew very well, and the other one was very tricky.
Well, you see, you're absolutely right. I mean, for us, we have Falmouth, which has big trees, and it's right in the delta of Cape Cod Airport. So there's competition. But then you can go out to Catena Airfield, where there are houses and there's wires and walls on one end of 2.5, but the other have no trees and it's very open. So 2.4.6.
So for our listeners, what are we having here? It's a miniature IMC club that is exactly what is happening. So the point of this discussion was that in IMC we believe that there is no one answer to one. And they are going to be different. They are going to be based on what you fly, how you feel that day, how much experience you have. So we cannot put one online program and say, okay, here you are, that's your experience, and here is ABCD, and the answer is correct. And choose the one that is correct, because the answer could be correct for somebody and does not have to be correct for you. And in IMC Club environment, we simply sit there and we talk about it. So we talk to each other, we come up with different ideas, different solutions, and this way we learn from each other experience. And now, guess what? We also have a VMC Club. So at some point...
I want to take responsibility for that. I want to take responsibility for the creation and the idea, and because I am not instrument rated in these, I'm going to these IMC clubs with meetings with people who there are people that got, some people have an ego. Some people just won't think that I have anything to contribute because I don't fly in the suit. Some people don't want me to be talking about stuff that I don't do, even though the conversation is education. I got a problem with that.
DMC pilot, VFR pilot, there is this big misconception, by the way. We always say VFR IFR, which has nothing to do with the radar. Because you could be flying IFR in perfect
visibility,
vision.
right?
So it's DMC and IMC. That's the proper way to address it.
Okay.
But every VFR pilot will become an IFR pilot at some point, potentially without instrument rating.
Well, if you've ever asked,
It happened to me.
have you ever asked for special?
Yes, but even forget the special. I'm talking about when you're flying VFR, you don't have your instrument rating yet, and weather is starting squeezing.
My first year coming from Nantucket, I flew through snow. It was a front, not a squall. I didn't even feel any bumps, but I couldn't see through the other side for about 10 seconds. And I was IMC.
And guess what? Most pilots, it's a human nature, when weather is squeezing you, and weather usually is squeezing you from above, not from below, you have a tendency to avoid the weather so you can go lower and lower. And that is how people get killed. Because it's so much better to know what to do, even though you're not an instrument-rated pilot, and be quote-unquote illegal at higher altitude in those conditions, keeping your wings level using instruments, because that is what is going to save your life. But going back to VMC class, so when we merged with EAA, that's an organization.
When did you do that?
2015.
Congratulations!
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
We've been talking about it all year. But go ahead.
So we started rolling out IMC Club to EAA chapters. And at some point they realized that non-instrument we could benefit from this discussion philosophy. I like
You are a very...
It's almost like an aviation, the religion. I want to build
It is a religion.
safety cult.
You are Monsignor
Vizhikovsky.
Yes. You are. This is a religion. But go ahead.
So we sat down there, and you definitely were one of the people inspiring us with this. As a VFR pilot, and I said, there are a lot of those. For example, Howie Moreland. Well, not the same. So then we said, okay, how about we build something that is made on the same space, on the same philosophy, but has contact, is not carbon instrument.
Well, plenty of material.
Absolutely. And that's what it is. And we have some interesting stories. So, for example, I'm going to give you one example.
Sure.
Let's imagine that you took off and you're doing like three takeoffs and landings. You are going to be flying with passengers, so you can do yourself car.
Oh, of course.
Pure VFR. A little like cumulus cloud in the distance. It's just building there, but it's clear around, so you can see it very well. So you go around. On the second one, you take off. You turn crosswind. You look to the left and you see that the cloud actually is building much faster, and there is thunderstorm there that is starting dissipating right now, and it's raining. But still, you maintain visual.
I mean, it's raining on your parade. It's raining there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
I flew visually, and keeping thunderstorms in the distance, you just see that, and not a big deal.
Go ahead.
So on the third one, you cross it, and it starts raining. You see a wall of rain right to your left, but you see the airport to the right. So what you do, you turn downwind, right, and you're going to land. So you still have to go around the loop. You make a short approach, you get down to the runway, and guess what? We always talk about getting into the weather. But how about weather getting to you? So on downwind, you are being overtaken by the thunderstorm, and you lose visibility.
Oh no!
And
Can you
VFR pilot.
can you say land in the middle of that runway? Hell yeah!
I don't know because you cannot see where the runway is.
I would have done it before I couldn't see where the runway was.
Yeah, but you felt that there is enough room, so you.
Well, I felt wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So weather.
Wait a minute. Now you can't see anything
from behind.
Okay, so now you're in the soup.
You are now in the soup. You know.
I have one question.
I
have one question for you. When you were in the pattern, and there was the clouds coming to you from over there, downwind, was there another airport, a plan B, in your scheme? Then go there now.
Yeah, but how are you going to steer? Are you going to be climbing, descending, turning? You remember you're a VFR pilot, and you don't.
I'm going where it's clear. I know where it came from. I know where it's going. What are you asking me? What do I do?
Are you really sure it's clear there? Maybe something's already flew that direction.
I know sure as
if you cannot see anything.
If I fly into where it came from, the odds are there's more of it. If I fly to where it isn't where it's going, I can fly back out of it.
So the bad news is that actually there was another thunderstorm building ahead of you on downwind. So you're squeezed in between two of them.
I pray to God that I never put myself in that situation. But are you asking me what would I do? I'd shut my eyes. I don't like what I see. And if you don't like what you see...
So a real scenario. It actually happened to somebody.
Okay, and what did that somebody do?
So that somebody actually...
Radek.
On the downwind. They were mid-flight. So they flew by instruments. They turned crosswind and started descending. Just by pure feel of where the airport is.
But they're on top of the field.
Yes, yeah, they are downwind, so
yeah.
Press crosswind and started descending, and they broke out.
Yeah.
They see the airport turn final in the 11. But there is always a chance that they were doing this. And I'm not saying that's the right answer. That's the whole point. That's why I'm saying it's the wrong answer.
I'm shaking my head.
Because you go down, you're close to the ground now, and what if you don't see it?
Hello. Or if you misjudged.
Yes.
Oh, please. That's why I thought being conservative means that if there are other airports downwind from the storm which came from upwind, and it just happened to be, it overcame me, in the minute that it overcame me, I would climb at a nice, gentle ascent and get out of Dodge. Because I can do 140 miles an hour. I don't think that the clouds can do 140.
To make it worse, that particular airport has
a box canyon.
Ski area. So one side of the airport, that's why there's right traffic pattern. There is a ski area, and you don't really want to start skiing with your helmet.
No. Yes, I understand. That's crazy.
So, are we going to climb? And bottom line, that is pretty much what VMC Club is all about. Options are endless. And then